Hi, it's Andy from Blackwell Brides, and a couple things. One, we're watching Slash Sisters. Two, I've been asked to make this fun, which means that I can't remember anything but how much I love the Slash Sisters and this show, and so you should too. It's the only thoughts in my head. Hopefully it's the only thoughts in your head.
All right, y'all, strap in tight. And I mean, like, really tight, like seatbelt, shoulder straps, all of it. Because this ride we're about to go on does not have a happy ending.
No, it does
at
not.
all. Hey, horror fans, I am Slash Sister Jen.
And I'm Slash Sister Hallie, and today we are tackling Final Destination 3. The 2006 thrill ride directed by James Wong, not to be confused with James Wan.
I'm not gonna lie, when I saw his name go across the screen when I was watching this, I was like, James Wan directed this? Then I was like, wait a second, that's not spelled right. That's W-A-N, not W-O-N-G. Totally different people. But I did have a moment where I was like, wait a second, I didn't know James Wan directed a Final Destination movie.
Right?
Carrying on. This one also stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead. This was actually like her first major role. I think she'd been in a couple of other small roles, but this was like her first main character role.
Yeah, and then like the following year, 2007, she did the Grindhouse double feature.
Oh,
She was in Death Proof.
Right,
and stuff like that,
yeah.
So.
But also stars Ryan Merriman, who has been on our channel once before.
Halloween Resurrection.
Was it Resurrection? Okay. Because he plays the kid who's like watching on a computer the whole time. Anyways, I think both of these characters are just kind of like douchebag guys. Well, he does get better in this movie. He starts out as a total douchebag.
Actually, his friend, who is actually dating Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character, is the douchebag. He's the guy that's being nice throughout the entire thing. From the start, he was like, "It's okay, I'll trade seats and stuff like that."
Yeah, but also like his girlfriend was talking about breaking up with him, and he took a picture up that girl's skirt. Like, dude's kind of a creep. Anyways, carrying on. This takes one of the most terrifying places for a death vision to start. A roller coaster.
From tanning beds to nail guns, this entry is packed with some of the most creative and brutal deaths in the franchise. Honestly, it might be one of the most memorable ones. I mean, the roller coaster one sticks out in my head as, besides like Flight 180, this is like the one that sticks out the most out of like,
I mean,
the log one too.
I was gonna say, for me, it's the log, even more so than Flight 180. Like, it's the log scene that stands out to me out of the whole franchise. Granted, I was just saying this right before we hit record, I had not actually seen this one. I skipped this one for some reason. I've seen the first two plenty of times. And then I watched The Final Destination when it came out. Which I guess really, technically you don't really need to have watched this one for any of the rest of them to make sense, I guess.
The only like connection with this one to the first one in any capacity is that it takes place at McKinley High School.
Right.
Like they're like all the kids
and they
are
do
at
talk
McKinley.
about Flight 180.
Right.
They talk about what happened.
They do because they're playing catch up and trying to understand like what's happening to them by learning about what happened to other people.
Right.
So.
But before death can catch up to us, why don't you go ahead and make sure you slash that subscribe button and stab the like button and ring the grave bell, all those things, so you know you don't miss out on any of the nonsense that we're doing over here.
Just do it! Do it!
Sorry.
Alright, keep your arms and legs inside the ride at all times, because it's time to take a ride into Final Destination 3.
Yes. We start our story with high school student Wendy Christensen, who is visiting an amusement park in Pennsylvania with her boyfriend, Jason.
I mean, technically, it's supposed to be like.
Is it like closed exclusively for this high school, or
the amusement park?
Off that way.
The amusement park was set up for the high school.
Okay,
it's like
the high
senior
school
week or whatever. Right.
Okay. So it's Wendy, her boyfriend Jason, Jason's best friend Kevin, and Kevin's girlfriend Carrie, and the rest of their classmates as they're there to celebrate graduation, kind of like their senior trip sort of thing.
As they board the Devil's Flight roller coaster, the devil is voiced by Tony Todd.
Yes, it is.
You can run, but you cannot hide. may never return from Devil's Light.
Wendy has a premonition of a chain reaction causing the roller coaster to derail, killing everyone. She convinces Kevin, along with her best friends Ashley Frund and Ashlyn Halperin.
Yeah, they do show their names on the tombstones later.
Right. The Ashleys. They call them the Ashleys.
The Ashes, I think.
Yeah.
Because one's Ashley, one's Ashlyn.
Well, whatever. Alumnus Frankie Cheeks, athlete Louis Romero, and goth couple Ian McKinley and Aaron Ulmer to leave, but fails to save Jason and Carrie, who are killed by the subsequent derailment.
Yeah, so like there's the whole sequence, like we always get in a Final Destination movie where, you know, she sees the whole premonition, everything happens, she literally sees every single person die. And then she wakes up as she's falling onto the tracks.
Which is usually how that happens.
Right.
When the person's having the premonition, they snap out of it when their death occurs.
Right. Yep. So, and that she does convince them, like half of them get off the ride. It's ridiculous.
She
this starts.
She convinces Kevin,
Right.
and the rest of them are kind of like forced off or whatever because a fight ensues.
Right.
Kind of like Flight 180, a fight ensued, and then the
They're
rest
all
of them
taken
were thrown
out by
off the fucking
security.
plane. Right.
Can you please control that bitch? Damn, it's gonna crash. The hydraulics, the coaster. Man, she just trying to get some fucking attention. Fuck you. Fucking what?
Right.
And then
right.
they still run the half-empty cart. Why they wouldn't like open that up and put more people on?
Nobody else gets off this ride!
Confuses the hell out of me. There's clearly like a line of people waiting. I guess they didn't
was
need
in the
that many
script.
deaths. It was in the script.
It was in the
It
script.
was your turn to say it this time.
Hey, whoa, let's go! Hey, whoa, let's go!
So yeah, they actually like send the coaster off on its ride, and yeah, like almost immediately it derails and everybody that was on the coaster dies. I was watching this little behind the scenes thing, and apparently the actors had to ride this ride like 60 times.
Yeah, it was some obscene number of times.
Yeah, they
because
had to like
needed it
put
for
cushions under their butts for the ride and stuff. Because I mean, you're like on a plastic, you know, like it's not made for comfort. You're made to be on there for a couple of minutes.
And I think those 60 rides weren't all in one day. It was like a course of like 3 days. Or something like
but
that.
still, even 30
I'm
20
not
times a day.
belittling it. I'm not belittling
Like
it in
the
any
first
way.
5 times, great. After that, I'd be like, all right, that's enough.
Right, right.
Weeks later, Kevin tells Wendy, this is like kind of after the funerals, basically. Kevin tells Wendy about his discovery of a visionary. He's talking about Alex and the 6 people from Alex's high school class who escaped from Flight 180. And as a result, death came after them in the order that they would have died on the plane.
They died in the order they would have if they stayed on the plane.
Unless someone intervened and it skipped them.
Yeah. So after Ashley and Ashlyn are killed when they are burned alive in their tanning beds.
This scene it's probably, for me, it's the most memorable death out of this movie. There's some other pretty good ones too later in the movie, but this one is like, it's so ridiculous. However, I've been in a tanning bed like that. And let me tell you, that is like a valid fear. Like, granted, it happens in a really weird way.
That
but
is
like,
why if I ever use a tanning bed, it is a stand-up one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could still get stuck in a stand-up one. Something gets leaned
but you're
up
not
against
laying
it. Yeah, you're
on
not
it.
laying on hot bulbs. And those
Exactly.
machines were so different back then, too.
I mean,
Like,
we are
got
we are
20
talking
years
like
on 'em
20
now.
years.
Yeah.
Right.
But
right.
I would say, I mean, I haven't tanned in quite some time.
Same.
However,
I just soak up the sun now.
yeah. However, I definitely was one of those people who, not like I didn't like tan year round or anything like that. My sister worked at a tanning salon, so like I would go there like a couple times a month and just like she would let me go for free. Also, like my family went on like vacations and stuff to like Florida, and I would tan for like a couple of months beforehand and whatever. So like
Right.
I've got experience with these type of tanning beds
No
25, 30 years ago. And yeah.
No bueno.
Seeing this brought back some like actual fears that I had back then, but also I've seen this scene before, like even though I hadn't seen this movie, I've definitely seen this scene a million times.
This scene is one of the most iconic
From
death
this film,
scenes
for
from
sure.
the entire franchise.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so they are burned alive in their tanning beds and has been sensing death's presence since the derailment.
It's cold and terrifying.
Wendy conducts her own research relating to premonitions, including learning about the U.S. Route 23 pileup and its survivor, Kimberly Corman.
Yeah.
See the shadow?
Well, what do these pictures have to do with us?
Another visionary like her and Browning.
Yeah, so she doesn't survive in the movie, does she?
Kimberly?
In the second one?
No, she does.
Does she?
Yeah.
She does survive that movie?
She breaks the cycle.
Okay. I feel like there was like a deleted scene or something. Fuck if I know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just it. It's a deleted scene. In canon, she survived.
Yes. After learning of the parallel disasters, Wendy and Kevin set off to save the other survivors using clues about their fated deaths
From photographs that Kevin took. She took.
Wendy was taking pictures for the yearbook. And so she had like a digital camera, which like in 2005, that was like kind of a big deal. It was kind of a big deal to have a small little digital camera like that. Like
it was actually the school's camera.
Yeah, it was. She had it checked out from the school. So like had been taking pictures that whole time. And so they go and look at the pictures and they start figuring out that death is leaving them clues as to how these people are going to die. So they kind of start looking at, she pulls them up on her computer, doesn't she? Like,
well,
we're not looking on the little screen.
They have them printed out.
Oh,
too.
that's right.
They have them printed out so they can flip through them while they're doing their investigation, the boot work of it.
Yeah.
While Wendy and Kevin attempt to determine how Frankie dies, his head is sliced by an engine fan from Kevin's truck in which they were trapped. The next day, Lewis is killed when a weight machine crushes his head at the school gym. Like, there's like swords behind him, the swords drop, cuts the wires, and these weights that were up like this just come down and...
Yep. Kind of similar to like Marky Wahlberg's, Donnie Wahlberg's death in Saw 2? 4? Whichever one. Hell if I know. I'm losing track of things. We're talking different franchises here.
It was the one with that we did with
the two
crawlers.
ice cubes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So very similar in as far as like the fashion of the death,
which I think they both came out roughly
around the same time. Yeah, probably.
I think close. I think Saw 4 was 2007, so maybe they got inspiration from this. Who knows?
Maybe. As they attempt to save Ian and Aaron, they go to, it's basically like a Lowe's or Menards sort of place.
Home Depot.
Maybe you guys don't know what Menards is. Is that a Midwest thing?
I think it's Midwest. Home Depot or Lowe's,
yes, something like that. Like a big box store, like
hardware
store. Yeah. And they attempt to warn them, basicly.
And they kind of dismiss it.
Yeah, and Wendy does actually save Ian. Like, a bunch of spikes were gonna fall on him from a big shelf. She pushes him out of the way, and Death then skips to his girlfriend, Erin, because apparently that's how you save someone from the cycle, is you gotta, like, push them out of the way.
You have to
intervene. Yes. So Erin then falls, and after, like, a series of, like, this thing, well, of course, because it's Final Destination, she gets shot through the fucking head with a nail gun. And if there's another,
she's like trying to stop him. They're like,
yeah. But if there's another kill in this movie that's iconic, it's that one. Like the rest of them, whatever.
I don't know.
This one's pretty cool though.
Ian's death's pretty cool too.
Yes, it happens really quick though.
It is. It's
blink and you miss it.
Right.
Yep.
While identifying the next two survivors from the photograph, Wendy realizes they are her sister Julie and one of her friends, prompting Wendy...
By noticing a bracelet that her sister was wearing.
Right. Prompting Wendy and Kevin to rush to the local tricentennial fair to save them. That's right. The city that they live in is 300 years old,
Pennsylvania.
which, I mean, would be
Yeah.
East Coast, so yeah.
Kevin is able to save Julie from being impaled, but her friend gets impaled instead. Wendy tries to question her sister about the next person in line to die, but an airborne flagpole literally like impales her through the stomach, and then she slides down it too, which is I thought it was kind of cool.
It reminds me of Paris's death in House of Wax, the remake of House of Wax.
Yes, also reminds me of Hot Fuzz. Where did it do like? Well, I don't know why it reminds me of Hot Fuzz. It's not even the same thing.
No, not
I
even
mean,
close.
there's also made me think of like when Jason. I'm pretty sure it's in 3,
4.
4. Yeah, it is 4. When
Tommy buries them.
it in his head and then
Yeah.
he falls into it more. I'm like, yeah. Horror, the horror.
We are gore horror people.
yes.
We can't help it.
Yes. So Wendy then ends up saving Kevin from an explosion because there's fireworks and there's like Civil War reenactors, and so there's like old.
No.
Oh, is it not Civil? Is it
It's Revolutionary.
Revolutionary War? So there's like a cannon that goes on. I mean, there's plenty of different things to explode because they figured out like Kevin calls Wendy and he's like, now, remember we talked about we don't want to look at our pictures yet. Now's the time. We have to look. We need to know. So she figures out that it's probably going to be an explosion because the picture she took of him was like a flash.
You mean like a bunch of fireworks just blew up in my face?
Weird. He even says that, doesn't
Right,
he?
yeah. That's
But she ends up saving him from an exploding propane canister. But the trio is then confronted by Ian, who is pretty fucked up about his girlfriend getting killed with the nail gun. Also, back when they were in the like Lowe's or whatever in the hardware store, he tries to convince Wendy to just kill herself. To like jump the line and save everybody else, which we know doesn't work because they tried that in the last movie and it didn't work then. So like, whatever. But like,
honestly, there's like a theme where like there's always somebody that's trying to do it or whatever.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
because the next one
they got to come up with an idea of some sort, you know.
They gotta Scooby Doo the shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I said that at the start of this before we started recording. This movie feels very Scooby-Doo to me because they're like looking at pictures and then they like run to the next place and woo, here's the clue. And then it's like, oh no, and we gotta run to the next place and here's a clue. Yeah, it was very.
It Follows was very Scooby-Doo too.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It the way that they like move the story is with the pictures, and I think that was kind of that kind of wasn't my favorite part about this movie.
I get that,
but there's
that.
plenty of other good things that like bring up the rest of it. So, yeah, Ian confronts them and is like pissed off because he thinks it was Wendy's fault that his girlfriend died.
Yeah, he blames her. An unstable cart of fireworks blasts in Wendy's direction, which she, Kevin, and Julie barely evade. It later hits a cherry picker, causing it to collapse on Ian, bisecting him.
It pretty much just smushed it. Well, I guess it does bisect him, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because like they show his like half of his body just laying there and he's like still twitching. Fun.
Which, like, the clue with him was, like, the McKinley. Like,
yeah.
So they went to
because his
McKinley High
last
School,
name is McKinley. Right.
So, just weird.
So we then cut to, I mean, they show them kind of like hobbling off, and we cut to 5 months later, which this was filmed like way after principal photography was already done. I guess they had originally done some showings without this extra ending, the 5 months later ending, and people were not happy with the ending. So they went back and filmed this way after. But we cut to 5 months later, probably 5 months after. Wendy is experiencing more omens while riding a subway train with her roommate, Laura, and Laura's boyfriend, Sean. Like, basically, she looks healthy, happy, like, really like she's doing well. But as Wendy is about to disembark, she hears that song, the same song that's been playing through the movie. We haven't really talked about it. I can't remember how it starts, but it's something about something coming from behind you or something like that. And I think one of the first times we hear it is when that truck is barreling down the hill.
It is.
Yeah, it's like playing on the radio. But she hears it a couple of other times.
Right.
And then there's a guy on the subway playing a guitar who's singing that song, and she like has this moment like, oh fuck, something's about to happen, you know?
The next stop is the end of the line.
But at that point, she like goes to get off of the train because she starts getting nervous, and suddenly there's her sister, which like maybe this isn't a good sign.
And Kevin.
And then they see Kevin, and shit, this is really not a good sign.
Wendy receives another premonition that the train will crash, killing everyone on board. Panicked, the remaining survivors attempt to stop the train as it crashes off screen, with the train conductor letting them know about the stops, and that is also Tony Todd voicing the train conductor.
Yep, because
So
he's not actually in the movie. We don't see
Bloodworth or anything like
yeah.
that, because that's the character
But we
that
do
he
hear
plays.
Tony's voice.
Yeah.
Hello, Kevin Nixon. Anyway, so that's the end of our movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And we're led to assume that everybody dies in the crash. Or at least the people, the characters that were supposed to be killed by death die in this crash.
Yeah, I would.
Who
I would
knows if
assume so.
everybody dies? I mean, there was a lot of people.
They don't ever
but-
they don't ever touch on this in the next two films.
Yeah.
So like, I think it's safe to assume that everyone dies. That
Yeah,
they're
at least
supposed
the
to die.
characters
Right.
that we know.
Right, like the people that were supposed to die in that
Yeah.
opening sequence and everything like that. So,
So for me, it is a bloody machete up. A little reluctant. Again, it felt a little Scooby-Doo-ish. I kind of felt like there was just like that was the plot device that was carrying us all the way through. I guess we have to have something to carry us through, right? So, it's a little reluctant. It's a bloody machete up. It's a limp bloody machete up. But yeah, no, I do like this though. It was fun. It was fun.
Two bloody machetes up from
A good
us.
watch.
I honestly do love this franchise. It's probably one of the better smaller horror franchises out there, because a lot of the stuff
is very consistent.
It's very creative. Like the death
creative
scenes
with the
are very
kills.
creative. The way that death sneaks back up on
The
you.
rules are generally the same through. Excuse me.
I don't think the rules change throughout.
Yeah,
all
I mean-
five, at least all 5 of them. They kind of retcon them a little bit in 6.
Yeah,
but
right.
we'll get to that
Yeah,
later when we
yeah.
get to that one.
But I mean, in general, it's a good movie. It's a good franchise. I know it's one of Amy's favorite franchises.
Yes, it is.
So-
This and Saul are her 2 favorite franchises.
Yep. So, yeah, let's get it out of here. We'll be revisiting that very soon. Don't worry, guys. Well, not that one, but this franchise. That franchise.
Yeah.
But right now, we have something very interesting that was kind of on my radar
But you had never seen it until recently, right?
last night.
Okay. So this is a wartime film. It's set during World War II. But we are going to be dealing tantamount with Nazi zombies.
Yeah, basically.
Nazi zombies in... Oh, God dang it. I can't read
Yeah, we reloaded all of our movies back there, so there's quite a stack going.
So we are going to be looking at Overlord, which honestly, this is kind of like From Dusk Till Dawn in the aspect, like the first half of the film's kind of like just a wartime film,
Yeah.
and then shit goes like off the rails
Yeah.
for like the last half.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it has like a very defined. I mean, it definitely is kind of, but I wouldn't. My first thought wasn't From
Horror?
Dusk Till Dawn. My
Oh.
first thought definitely wasn't horror at all. We'll talk more. We'll talk more.
Yeah.
Come back next week because this is a doozy, you guys. Like, go watch this. Please watch this.
Go watch this and then compare it to Captain America.
Oh.
We'll talk about that next week. Until then, make sure you slash that subscribe button
Stab the like button.
and ring that great bell so you don't get lost in the mix and can stay up to date on everything we're doing on this platform.
And until next time, we will see you all
In the afterlife.